Welcome to the Wicked Kitchen. Today we are going to make a very simple peanut sauce noodle. So this is something that my kids love to make. It's super simple. It's nice to have cold as well. You can serve it warm. I like to use the same sauce and the same sort of formula here with any leftover pasta. So we're gonna start off with some peanut sauce. So you can use any kind of nut or seed butters. Before we add that, we're gonna add some aromatics. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is a little bit of chili. So we're gonna add these aromatics, these 3 aromatics, the Thai Trinity here. I'd say we have some chili, a little bit of chili, depending on how many kids are eating it. You wanna, and what their spice level is. Or maybe not add too many. I like it spicy, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some ginger. Okay. Couple cloves of garlic, not too many, just maybe 3 small cloves of garlic. Add those to the bottom of the blender. Then I'm gonna add the different elements that are gonna balance out the flavor of this peanut sauce, okay? So you get the fat being from the peanut butter or the almond butter, whatever you choose to use. I'm going to use also a soy sauce or a tamari, whichever you prefer. And then I also use a sweetener. So a lot of peanut sauces and different almond chili sauces sometimes don't use a sweetener. I like it, especially with these noodles. It works really, really well, especially with all the aromatics that we're going to be adding. So I have maple syrup. You can use a little sugar. You can use agave. I prefer it, a little bit of maple syrup there. So I have some limes. So I'm gonna roll them out. Make sure that you get the most out of those limes. All right, so I'll probably do 1.5. Squeeze those out. Okay, so you're basically balancing out the flavors here. So we have the fat, the acid now, the sweet, and the salt being from the tamari. I'm going to use a little bit of mirin. Mirin is optional, it's a seasoned vinegar. You can just use a little bit more sweetener if you wish in rice vinegar, but I like the flavor of mirin in here, especially when it's tossed with these noodles. So last, I'm gonna use the nut butter, nut or seed butter. So the reason I add this last, because you want the liquid first and all the aromatics, then you add the nut or seed butter. Otherwise, it could jam up your blender, especially if you're using more of a cheaper blender. All right. And that, we're gonna add a little bit of water. I'm gonna blend that up. This is one of those sauces also that you can make ahead of time. You can keep it for about a week. You can freeze it if you have a lot of leftovers, and it's just a great sauce to have just on rice bowls or dipping veggies in. All right, that's blended up nicely. So the texture, you want it to be very smooth, okay? So this is gonna firm up as it chills as well. I have some green onion, okay? All right, so the trinity of herbs here, when it comes to Thai herbs, I have some cilantro, I have some basil, and I have some mint. They work so well together. These are from my garden, this mint and the basil. It's just so nice to be able to walk outside and pick some fresh herbs. So the herbs really make this, they are just bursting with flavor, and I like to not blend these up when I'm making a sauce, because every little piece is just a different burst of flavor in the dish, right? I'm just gonna coarsely chop this up. We have all the aromatics together. This is a nice opportunity to add any veggies that you wish. So I'm gonna use a little bit of bell pepper in here, a little bit of carrot as well. I'll make these fairly thin slices, so. So I'm just slicing these peppers just to go a little bit thinner. Just julienne those up. All right, when you're cutting any kind of peppers, you wanna make sure that they're skin down, okay? Otherwise, if you have a dull knife, you could slip and cut yourself pretty quickly there, so. All right, a little bit of carrot. You can julienne these up, you can slice them in rounds. If you have a mandolin, you can do that as well. I'm just gonna go ahead and julienne a few. So just slicing up these carrots. So I have some just basic spaghetti here. Okay, I've just tossed it in a little bit of oil. You can use any kind of neutral oil. Let's go ahead and mix that up. You can add just enough to really coat the pasta. Okay, add more as needed, but it's so simple, so delicious. Oh, I love the smell of this, all the aromatics in there. You can top it off with some crushed peanuts as well, which we'll do when we serve it. This adds a nice contrast of texture here. And let's finish that with a little bit of those leftover herbs. And then use some final crushed peanuts there. And there you have it, a simple peanut sauce noodle with some aromatic herbs and some fresh veggies. So if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel here on YouTube. And for those of you who are in the UK, be sure to stop by Tesco and grab something from our Wicked Kitchen line. Thanks for joining. And if you're in the UK, be sure to come by Tesco. Don't be chuckling. Okay, start over. I just get more mad at him.